Have you ever loved someone so deeply yet somehow the pain between you keeps growing? Have you ever looked at your family and wondered why the people you care about the most are the same people who can hurt you the deepest? That is the silent truth many never speak out loud. Love exists, but peace doesn't. Affection is there, but safety isn't. Connection is there, yet somehow everyone still feels alone. This is the moment when you start questioning yourself. You ask why love is not enough. You ask why saying I love you does not automatically heal wounds. You wonder why the people who share your blood can feel like strangers who never learned how to hold your heart gently. And if you have ever felt that confusion, that heaviness, that quiet ache in your chest, then hear this. You are not broken. You are not weak, you are human. Family pain is one of the most powerful emotional storms we face. No one enters life choosing their family. No one gets a guidebook explaining how to deal with parents who are stressed, siblings who compete, relatives who criticize, or generations of unspoken trauma passed down like invisible luggage. We step into a world already shaped by the experiences of those before us. Their fears, their habits, their ways of showing love or hiding it, they all become part of our environment before we even understand what a family dynamic is. And so we grow up believing love should be enough. Love should fix everything. Love should naturally feel warm, safe, and supportive. But then reality steps in and it shows us something different. It shows us that love without emotional awareness becomes confusion. Love without communication becomes tension. Love without boundaries becomes pain. Love without healing becomes a cycle that repeats from one generation to the next. Right now, you might be carrying emotional weight that did not begin with you. You might be trying to be strong, trying to understand, trying to forgive people who never learned how to treat you gently. You might be trying to hold the family together while feeling like you're falling apart inside. And maybe, just maybe, you're tired. But deep inside that exhaustion, there is something powerful. The desire to understand why. The hunger for clarity, the courage to face truth. That curiosity is where healing begins. Because when you look beneath the surface, when you explore the psychology behind family pain, you discover something life-changing. You learn that love alone is not enough, because pain does not disappear just because we care. Pain stays until someone learns how to face it. Pain stays until someone breaks the cycle. Pain stays until someone understands the patterns that shaped everyone involved. And maybe that someone is you. Today you will understand what really happens inside a family when love fails to become comfort. You will see the invisible psychological forces that shape emotional distance, conflict, misunderstanding, and disappointment. And as you listen, something inside you will shift. You will begin to understand your own story with new eyes. You will see that your pain has reasons. Your emotions have roots. Your experience has a pattern. And none of it makes you weak. This is not just a video. This is a moment of clarity, a moment of truth, a moment to breathe, reflect, and finally understand why love is not the whole story. Family pain does not appear out of nowhere. It grows from patterns, beliefs, and emotional habits shaped long before you were even born. When you understand these patterns, everything begins to make sense. The truth is simple but heavy. People do not hurt each other because they lack love. They hurt each other because they lack emotional skills. Many families love deeply, but they love in ways filled with fear, tension, and unhealed wounds. This is where psychology explains what the heart struggles to understand. Every family has a set of emotional patterns. Some families communicate through silence, some communicate through anger. Some use guilt, comparison, or pressure without even realizing it. These patterns become automatic. They become the normal environment a child grows up in. Your mind learns these patterns before you learn to speak. Cognitive psychology tells us that the brain is shaped by what it repeatedly sees. If a child grows up in a home where emotions are ignored, that child learns to hide their feelings. If a child grows up in a home where mistakes bring shame, that child grows into an adult who fears disappointing others. If a child grows up around anger, they learn to scan for danger even in peaceful moments. The family environment becomes the blueprint for how a person understands love, conflict, and closeness. This is why you sometimes react strongly to small triggers. This is why certain words, tones, or behaviors can instantly make you feel small, guilty, or overwhelmed. Your brain is not reacting to the moment. It is reacting to the past. It is replaying old emotional memories stored deep inside. Behavioral psychology shows us something important. People repeat what they know, even if it hurts them. Parents who criticize often grew up in homes where they were criticized. Siblings who compete often learned early that love had to be earned. Family members who shut down emotionally usually do so because vulnerability once felt unsafe for them. The pain you feel today may be the echo of someone else's unhealed story. This is why love alone cannot fix everything. Love can coexist with fear. Love can coexist with anger. Love can coexist with habits that destroy connection. A parent can love you and still not know how to talk without hurting you. A sibling can love you and still feel jealous. A family member can care deeply, but still repeat behaviors they swore they'd never do. And then comes attachment psychology, which explains why family pain feels so intense. When you are a child, your parents are your first mirror. Their reactions teach you what you believe about yourself. If that mirror reflects warmth, you grow with confidence. If it reflects criticism or distance, you grow with doubt. Even as an adult, that mirror does not disappear. Your body reacts to family conflict like danger, because it learned to survive emotional threats long before you knew how to understand them. The moment you realize this, something clicks inside. You begin to see that your pain has structure. It has origin, it has logic. You stop blaming yourself for the emotional chaos around you. And maybe for the first time you whisper to yourself, "So that's why it hurts so much." You recognize that your reactions are not weakness. They are protection. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a sign that your heart learned to feel deeply, because it needed to. This is the power of understanding the psychology behind family pain. You begin to see the emotional architecture behind every argument, every cold silence, every misunderstanding. You start recognizing the hidden fear behind anger, the hidden exhaustion behind distance, the hidden insecurity behind control. And in that moment, you begin to reclaim your power. Because what once felt personal now feels understandable. What once felt confusing now feels explainable. And what once felt hopeless now feels possible to heal. There comes a moment in every person's life when they stop asking, "Why am I not enough for my family?" and start asking the real question, what happened to them that made love so difficult? This is the moment when everything changes. This is the moment when you take your power back. The truth is simple but life-changing. Family pain is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of unhealed wounds passed down through generations. You are not the cause of the pain. You are the witness of it, and maybe the one chosen to break the cycle. Imagine a river flowing through generations. At the source, long before you were born, something happened. A trauma, a heartbreak, a silent fear, a heavy expectation, a culture of emotional suppression, a belief that vulnerability is weakness. Instead of healing, people adapted. They survived. They kept going, but they never learned emotional safety. That river flowed into the next generation, and then the next, until eventually it reached you. You were born into the stream without knowing where the water came from. You felt the turbulence but didn't know its history. You felt the weight but didn't know its origin. And so you blamed yourself for currents that began long before your name existed. This is where reframing begins. You realize the pain was never yours to carry, yet somehow it landed in your hands. You realize the conflict in your family is not a sign of broken love, but broken skills. You realize that the distance, the arguments, the misunderstandings are symptoms of something deeper. People doing the best they can with the tools they were given, even if those tools were flawed. And now you see something even more powerful. The cycle stops the moment one person becomes conscious. The moment one heart chooses awareness over anger. The moment one mind says, "This ends with me." That person does not have to be perfect. They do not have to fix the whole family. They simply have to understand. Because understanding changes your internal world. It softens your reactions. It brings clarity to chaos. It turns emotional storms into lessons. You begin to see the hidden story behind each behavior. You start noticing the fear behind a harsh tone, the insecurity behind controlling behavior, the exhaustion behind emotional distance. You start seeing people not as enemies, but as humans carrying pain they never learned how to release. And once that happens, something shifts inside you. A quiet strength rises. You stop taking things personally. You stop chasing impossible approval. You stop breaking yourself to keep the family together. You stop bleeding for people who never learned how to stop their own wounds. You stop thinking that loving harder will fix everything. Because now you understand the truth. Love is powerful, but love needs boundaries. Love needs communication. Love needs self-respect. Love needs healing. Without these, love becomes a battlefield, not a home. This new clarity gives you permission to breathe again. Permission to choose peace over chaos. Permission to step back without guilt. Permission to protect your heart without feeling selfish. Permission to rewrite your story, even if others stay trapped in theirs. You realize you are not responsible for healing your entire family. You are responsible for healing yourself. And when you heal yourself, you break the cycle. You become the first in your bloodline to choose consciousness over pain, self-awareness over blame, growth over repetition. And in that moment, you feel something rise inside you, a truth you didn't know you needed. You were never the broken one. You were the awakening. This is the moment you step into your power, the moment you stop carrying pain that does not belong to you, the moment you rise above the patterns you were born into and choose a future shaped by awareness, strength, and inner peace. This is where your story changes. You are not here to repeat the past. You are here to rewrite it. You are not here to shrink yourself to fit into the emotional limits of others. You are here to grow beyond them. You are not here to stay trapped in cycles of guilt, silence, or emotional chaos. You are here to break patterns, create healing, and stand as the first voice of clarity in a family that never learned how to speak truth. Healing does not begin when the family changes. Healing begins when you change, when you decide to show up differently, when you choose boundaries instead of fear, when you choose honesty instead of silence, when you choose growth over comfort, when you choose yourself without apology. You do not need anyone's permission to heal. You do not need everyone to agree with your choices. You do not need validation from the same people who could not understand your pain. You are allowed to protect your heart. You are allowed to choose distance. You are allowed to create a life that feels safe, peaceful, and emotionally healthy. That is not disrespect, that is survival. That is transformation. Every time you choose emotional awareness, you change the future. Every time you break a pattern, you rewrite history. Every time you heal even one part of yourself, you weaken generations of inherited pain. That is the power you carry, even if no one has ever told you before. Yes, your family may never fully understand your journey. They may not understand your boundaries, your silence, your growth, or your new standards. They may continue to act from fear, habits, or unhealed wounds. But their limitations do not define your destiny. Your story does not end where theirs did. You are allowed to go further. You are allowed to become more. You are not betraying your family by healing. You are honoring the future by doing what they could not. You are lighting a path someone after you will walk with gratitude. You are becoming the kind of person you once needed. You are transforming pain into wisdom, confusion into clarity, wounds into strength. And from this moment on, promise yourself one thing. You will no longer lose yourself trying to save others. You will love, but you will not abandon yourself. You will care, but you will not carry what isn't yours. You will show compassion, but you will not shrink. You will still love your family, but you will also protect your peace. You deserve a life where love feels safe. You deserve relationships where communication is clear. You deserve connections built on trust, not fear. You deserve to feel valued, seen, and emotionally respected. And even if no one taught you how to build that life, you can learn, you can start today. You can be the one who steps into healing with courage and creates a new emotional legacy. So take a deep breath. Stand tall, walk forward with clarity. You are no longer the child trapped in old patterns. You are the adult rewriting the script. You are no longer defined by the pain you inherited. You are defined by the strength you choose now. And as you step into this new chapter, remember this final truth, the truth that will carry you forward long after this video ends. Love is powerful, but healed love is unstoppable. And you are becoming the one who heals. Your story is not over, it is just beginning.